Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt review time again. And this time I'll be reviewing a really new seller and big time YouTube star, Pioneer Pauly, and his brand new Paydirt. Now, I was super excited when I heard about a year ago that Pauly would be launching his own line of Paydirt, and so when this popped up for sale, I had someone order a bag, and then all the excitement went away. You see, when this Paydirt launched, it had something really peculiar in the description. It said if you wanted bulk gold or gold nuggets to visit brianthomasgold.com, which was odd that Pauly would be advertising another seller who also just launched his own line of Paydirt only a few months before. And then I saw that the bag I had ordered was shipped from Mid-Pines, California. I had someone order a bag of Brian Thomas Gold's Paydirt, and guess what? It shipped from Mid-Pines, California as well. So while this might look like a great and powerful bag of Paydirt, once you pull back the curtain, you will see that it's nothing more than a bag of Brian Thomas Gold Paydirt with a sticker slapped on it. But let's just flash up the description for Pauly's Paydirt. Go to the overhead and check it out a little bit closer. As you saw, the description pretty much says nothing about the Paydirt itself other than that it has 1 gram in it. And you'll also notice that the part about Brian Thomas Gold has been removed. In fact, this bag was ordered on the day of launch. The next day, and it shipped out that day as well. The next day, this bag was ordered, and right after this bag was ordered, it was removed from the website, which would almost make you think that Pauly doesn't want you to know that you're not actually buying Pioneer Pauly Paydirt. You might be buying somebody else's Paydirt with a fancy sticker on it. So let's weigh this one up. It doesn't have a weight on there. The Brian Thomas does say it's 3 pounds, and this one, 3 pounds, 15 ounces. Weigh up the Brian Thomas, 4 pounds, 4 ounces. Now, I am not going to be reviewing the Brian Thomas. This is just going to be about Pioneer Pauly today. I will be reviewing this one live on Tuesday during my live show. So if you watch my Tuesday live show, I will be doing the Brian Thomas Gold. I think that'll be episode number 160. So if you missed the live show, if you're watching this video much later on, you can go back through my feed and find the live show number 160. But let's open this up. We're actually going to open up both of them. Again, I'm not going to review this one, but I am going to open it up just to look at the material. So let's open up this one. This is the Pioneer Pauly. I will rinse out the bag before the end of the video just in case any gold got trapped in there. But let's open up the Brian Thomas bag, and then we will save this dirt for the Tuesday show. And as you can see, it's the same dirt. This is the same dirt. There's no difference between this dirt. But let's check the Pioneer Pauly, see if it has any magnetics in it. Does have a little bit, not too much. Should be easy to pan out. I'm guessing it's going to be easy to pan out. The Brian Thomas says it will be easy to pan out, so we're just going to go with that since they might be the same Paydirt. Now I'm going to go classify this one down. We'll be right back and we'll see what classifications this Paydirt comes in. Okay, all done classifying, and as you can see, pretty equal amounts in all 4 classifications. Maybe a little bit more in the plus 10, but it's a little bit chunkier, so maybe it's just not sitting in the pan right. But pretty equal amounts. Now, again, I have no idea where the gold's going to be at in this. It is guaranteed 1 gram. Based off of Brian Thomas's description, I'm guessing the upper 3, but we'll have to see. Maybe because it's Pioneer Pauly's, he throws a little bit in the minus 40. Who knows? The only way to find out is to pan it out. So let's go get some water and do just that. Gone
no trouble far away from here, gone away to where there'll be no trouble far away from here. You sent your message, you're smelling flowers in bloom. I see you scratching, itching for something new. But it's not too late. It's not too late to choose. But it might be too late. Might be too late for losing what you came here for anyway. Now we follow your in what direction I can't seem to find you. I hear you buzzing, but can't lay eyes on you. I hope that you know that it might be too late. It might be too late for losing what you came here for anyway. Now we follow your brick road off to see the wizard once again. Now we follow your brick road off to see the wizard once again. Now we follow your brick road off to see the wizard once again. Once again. Once again. Once again. Once again. Once again. Once again.
Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that was some fairly easy Paydirt to go through, but we'll talk about that in a minute. For right now, let's show you the gold I found. And I found gold in every classification. I had no idea where I would find gold, but I found it in every classification. Not much in the -40, but I did find 2 little pieces. And there we go. And let's start weighing it up. We're going to start with the plus 10, and we're going to weigh up the biggest piece first just to see how much the bigger nugget weighs. Well, it would help if my scale stayed on. All right, there we go now. Oh. So the biggest piece in there was 0.5. We'll add the rest of it. 1.045. This bag was guaranteed 1 gram. So I've already got the 1 gram just out of the plus 10. And let's add in the rest of it. See how much over 1 gram we are. And these last 2 little pieces. Give it a second. And there we go. 1.330 grams. Now for this 1 gram bag from Pioneer Pauly, it was fairly easy to go through. The hardest thing about it is that it's 3 pounds of material, so you'll be panning for a really long time, but that's usually a good thing. But it did have gold in every classification and a little bit of black sands. So for a beginner, I would give this a medium, but for an advanced or expert panner, this is easy Paydirt to go through. All right, finished calculating my ROI, writing out my review, and let's get right to it. Now, again, I went through a Pioneer Pauly 1 gram bag of Paydirt that was guaranteed 1 gram of gold. Its cost was $107. Shipping was free, so total cost $107. Now, as you saw earlier in this video, I recovered 1.330 grams of gold. And the gold spot on the day that this was purchased was $74.62, making the gold I found worth $99.24, giving me an ROI of 92.75%, or on my scale, a 9.3. So not a bad ROI. It's actually a really good ROI. It's probably one of the higher ROIs I've ever gotten from a YouTuber. And I'm pretty happy with the ROI. I'm actually extremely happy with the ROI. I like getting 90% and above ROI, so I'm really happy with the ROI. Maybe some of these other scores I won't be so happy about, but for ROI, I'm really happy. I am also really happy with the fun factor because I'm going to leave it the same at a 9.3. There was nothing to take away or bump this up, and I think a 9.3 for fun factor is, again, a really good score. So I am, again, happy about that. Now for Paydirt description, I'm only giving him a 2. And I probably should deduct points from that. Those are just how many points he was getting for what little information he does have. But the fact that he's really leaving out that somebody else is making this Paydirt for him, somebody else is shipping this Paydirt for him, it probably should be a lower score, but I'm going to give him a 2 for description. For quantity and packaging, he's going to get a 6.5. 5 for quantity because it doesn't tell you how much material you're going to get, whereas if you go to the other seller's website, he does tell you how much Paydirt you're going to get. This one, you no idea what you're going to get. It could have been a 1 ounce bag, a 10-pound bag. I got something in between at a 3-pound bag. Now for the packaging, he's getting an 8 because it is a coffee bag, but it wasn't double bagged or anything like that. So total score for quantity and packaging is a 6.5. And lastly, for customer service and shipping, he's getting a 5. A 0 for customer service, but he's getting a 10 for shipping. In fact, this is probably one of the fastest Paydirts I've ever had shipped before. From when it was ordered until it was dropped off the post office was only 1 hour. After being ordered, 1 hour later, it was in the hands of the post office. So incredibly fast shipping, but unfortunately, there's no customer service. I emailed Pioneer Pauly twice before the Paydirt even came out. And then when it came out, I emailed him and never got a response. Nothing. And I probably never will. Pioneer Pauly has said he's too busy to handle his Paydirt, so I'm guessing he's too busy to handle customer service as well. And if he would actually put in the information to contact Brian over at Brian Thomas Gold, I would have probably got a response. But because he's keeping it hush-hush where this Paydirt comes from, I got 0 response and a 0 for customer service, giving the Pioneer Pauly 1 gram bag a total score of 6.4. And that's not a horrible score. It's not a good score. It's not a bad score. It's kind of in between. It's really the ROI that's saving this Paydirt. And I kind of knew that the ROI would be on the higher end, over 70%, because it has really somebody else's name and reputation attached to these bags. And I didn't think Brian wanted to ruin his reputation by putting out really low ROI bags of Paydirt. Unfortunately, the parts that Pauly is in control of, the description, customer service, things like that, those are the things that really, really failed. The parts that Brian isn't handling, the Paydirt and the ROI, those are good. So you take that for what it's worth. Now, would I order this bag of Paydirt again or recommend it? No, definitely not. I don't think this Paydirt is worth it. Even though it does have a very high ROI, I think you would get just as high of an ROI from Brian Thomas. And Pioneer Pauly's Paydirt is $107. Brian Thomas is $97. So you're going to pay $10 less. And based on the description of Brian Thomas, I think you're going to get just as high of an ROI. We'll find out this Tuesday. But I also really don't like how devious and dubious Pauly is being about how he's got a distributor distributing his Paydirt. No, to distribute something, you have to actually have a product. You can't say you have a product and you're distributing it if you don't actually have a product. All he's distributing is his stickers. He's sending someone a pile of stickers and saying, stick this on a bag for me. And when he's posting all over Facebook saying he's trying to find a Canadian distributor, what he's trying to do is find a Canadian Paydirt seller that's willing to slap a sticker on their own Paydirt and say it's Pioneer Pauly's. And this causes all kinds of problems, like the customer service part. If this bag for some reason broke or something else, I would never be able to contact anyone unless I knew it was coming for Brian. So I just really dislike this whole thing. And again, I would rather just buy it from the source. Why go through a middleman just for a sticker? In fact, I peeled off the sticker so I could stick it on any of these bags on my shelf and have another bag of Pioneer Pauly Paydirt. And one last thing is I don't want people to think I think anything harshly about Brian Thomas. I think he's just doing what Paydirt sellers do. He's trying to move gold. And if somebody comes to him and says, hey, will you slap a sticker on some Paydirt and pay me $10, I'll charge $10 more, Brian is trying to make money. So he's just trying to do that. They have Paydirt sellers who do collabs together, trying to expand their business, bring in new clientele. So that's all he's really doing. I don't think I would do it if I was a Paydirt seller because it could cause some problems later on. Like I said, with customer service, if a bag breaks or something like that. But I don't think anything negative of him. Tom used to do this when Tom had a Paydirt. When he closed, he started having Irwin's Paydirt selling his Paydirt. So it has been done before. I just think it's really negative looking on Pioneer Pauly to, I don't know. If anything, like I said, I think it looks really bad for Pioneer Pauly that he can't even produce his own Paydirt. He just wants the money from saying he's selling a Paydirt. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, think about hitting that subscribe button below.